Bitcoin just crashed below $20,000. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how Bitcoin just dropped 7% in 7 hours, below 20K, down to $18,500. What may have led to this drop, and whether or not we're about to see a massive capitulation event on low volume that could drive Bitcoin all the way down to $13,700 sooner than you might have been expecting. If you want to know where Bitcoin is right now, where it's been, and where it's going, and more importantly, why, you found the right video. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. As you can see, Bitcoin overnight dropped below $20,000 and dropped 7% in the span of just 7 hours. Over the last couple of hours, it has been bouncing a little bit, moving from its local low of $18,750 up to $19,200. But it doesn't look like it's going to be able to sustain that growth. Zooming out a little bit, we can see that Bitcoin has been in a major downtrend for really the last, well, going back to November 10th, but ever since that has begun, it has gone through multiple periods of rally and then correction, and then another rally and then correction. Over the last couple of weeks, it has been attempting to trade sideways and consolidate after a major drop down to $22,000 and all the way eventually down to $17,500, but we've been unable to maintain support. In fact, Bitcoin tried to break through $21,700 twice, and it completely failed both times, setting lower highs and lower lows as it continued to move back down to $20,000. And as you can see here, we bounced off of it briefly and then capitulated back below. Let's start with the long term. In the long run, I think you're going to see Bitcoin drop all the way back down to $13,700, which was the local high set in mid-June of 2019. That is the next major level that I think we'll go to, and it actually corresponds with a couple of different metrics. For one, if you do a Fibonacci retracement using the log settings here on Fibonacci, you can see that the 0.5 level that Bitcoin would retrace to is sitting at $14,700, indicating that there is a range of support between 14,008 and also 13,008. This trend actually extends all the way back as well, because if you look back into the 2016, 17, and 18 bull market, bear market cycle, you can see Bitcoin only drop down to the 38.2% region, but in this case, it would be dropping down to the 0.5% region, hovering around $14,000. Going back to the first bull market in Bitcoin's history, you can see that Bitcoin dropped only down to 23.6% on Fibonacci retracement. Then in the second bull market, it dropped down to the next little rung down the ladder at 38.2% at its absolute bottom at $4,000. And then in this case, if we dropped another rung down the ladder to 0.5, you would see the market drop all the way down to $14,000. So that's the long-term outlook. I do think that we're going to go there down to 14K eventually. However, the method that we get there is up for debate. I think that we're going to see Bitcoin go through something very similar to what it went through in November of 2018, where we saw Bitcoin drop down, bounce a little bit, then bounced again, then bounced again, then bounced again, then bounced again. It had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major bottoms before it finally bottomed out entirely down around $3,000. From there, it traded sideways for a multitude of months, about 6 months, and then kicked off a new bull cycle. I think that you're going to see something similar happen on Bitcoin here after it broke below an equivalent level to the 2018 market, because in 2018, Bitcoin dropped below $6,000 and then went through those 5 bottoms. In this case, we dropped below $30,000, and now we've gone through one bottom, and it looks like we might be about to go through another one that will be potentially a little bit lower, maybe around 16K. Also keep in mind that Lux Algo, which, by the way, if you don't have, you absolutely need to get, has been under a strong confirmed sell signal going all the way back to April the 10th. And to be honest with you, we've really been under a strong sell signal, especially out on the 3-daily chart, or even on the weekly chart, I should say, ever since the 10th of January, 2022. Looking here on the weekly chart, the take profit for Lux Algo shows up right there in the middle of that zone that we're talking about between 13.8 and 14.8. On top of that, if you look at the zone here on the daily chart, it's literally exactly in the middle of that projection around $14,000. So, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news. I think Bitcoin's going to 14K. When's it going to happen? Probably in the next 3 to 6 months. Why? Well, I think that we're going to drop pretty quickly because there's low volume on the order books, and we're seeing a lot of FUD coming out of the Federal Reserve, and the fact that Grayscale just got denied a Bitcoin spot ETF again, and they're currently suing the SEC. All of that to say, I think the bottom is relatively close in both price action and in time, but I don't think it's in just yet. Once we think that the bottom is in, we will tell you right away, but I do think you're going to have to wait a few more months and a few thousand more dollars. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to sign up for LuxAlgo using coupon code JEB, J-E-B-B, for 20% off at checkout using the link in the description box down below. It is hands down one of my favorite technical indicators in my entire indicator toolbox, and I wouldn't want you missing out on the near perfect signals that it gives if you combine the LuxAlgo signals with the LuxAlgo trend catcher. Before I go though, guys, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Holy cow, you're at the end of the video. You're one of the good ones. I give you a thumbs up. If you want to give us a thumbs up, make sure you do that. And if you're not subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, if you really want extra bonus points, you can comment what you think down below. That's all we got. See you next time.